Hello, and welcome to Season 4 How to Play D&D, the explainer podcast with one experienced Dungeon Master and one failed scriptwriter to discuss D&D topics. My name is Kinsey, and my ridiculously inadequate pod partner is Lewis McCaffery. Hello, Lewis.
Hello, Connor. I don't know why it's surprising me now that you're getting this right, but you're saying it so fluently.
Oh, what can I say?
It's almost like we've done 60-odd episodes.
Yeah, it's not like we've been doing this for nearly a year.
Yeah.
In fact, by the time this comes out, we've done over a year's worth.
Yeah.
A year's worth of episodes.
Yes.
Yes, very good.
And if anyone's been listening from the start, shame on you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that we wasted your time for a year.
So sorry for your loss.
We're sorry that you learnt less about D&D through us teaching you.
Yeah.
And you've lost friends and family.
Oh, yeah, that is the case.
100%. Actually, do you know what? That's on you for being a bad person.
Yeah.
So
it's that thing, fool me once, like, shame on me or something, but fool me 60-odd times, shame on you.
Yeah, definitely. So, we're continuing this season as a DM season. Can you guess what today's episode is about?
How to deal with shame as a dungeon master, maybe, because
do you know what? That's the first time you've been close.
No, it's
DMing a pre-written campaign in D&D. Let's get to it. Okay, so today's episode is on DMing a pre-written campaign for the first time. That is a mouthful. Running a campaign takes time, and funnily enough, most D&D players have plenty of it until you attempt to actually play, and then they will not have time, and they will remove themselves from all social chats that you are in, and their Tinder bio goes live again, and you're there, sitting in your own semen, hating yourself as they post in group finders for new D&D friends.
That's horrible. Why does that summarise my life?
And whilst you're thinking about that and you're replaying that bit, imagine yourself as a fish as well, just to add. Why not?
I hate this so much.
Okay, Lewis. Fresh bread, bacon, lettuce, tomato. Which one are you launching at patients in your local hospital? What am I doing?
Why is it which ones am I hurtling at people? What are you doing? What you're doing in this situation is probably watching as one of the spectators that's getting a slice of tomato launched at your rectum, wondering what's going on.
I'm tripping balls is what I'm doing while you're doing this.
Realistically, it's not whatever you said, Brett.
Fresh bread.
It's
You've
not
never had fresh bread before.
No, it's not bread. Yep, it's not bread. It's not tomato or whatever the other one said. We're not in a hospital. Actually, we're in in your bedroom. You're convulsing, and I'm there trying to give you CPR while you slap me away, thinking I'm throwing tomatoes.
I thought you were going to say I'm just in the subway eating a BLT, which is exactly what that is.
Yeah,
if you put them together. Okay,
that's what you're doing.
Right, first time DMers have decided to run a campaign from one of the books. Do we think this is a great idea? And if so, why?
I'd say it depends on the book. So, for example, if it's Fandelver, which is the intro campaign for 5e anyway, then perfect idea. It's great. It's got everything you'd want in an intro campaign, but it's also there's a decent amount of flexibility there that as a DM you don't have to follow it step by step. As long as it's got each of the story arcs and the elements in, you're fine.
Okay.
Whereas if you go for something like the Curse of Strahd, as a first-time DM, you're going to have a nightmare. Like, there's so much in a lot of the books, like the full modules, that it can get overwhelming, confusing, and if you're not ready for that amount of work, and not just the planning for it, but keeping on top of what's going on, because while your party's going through the world, the boss at the end is doing his own thing, and if you're not used to, managing other aspects that have nothing to do with what the party's doing at the moment, then you're going to struggle for some modules.
Okay.
But the smaller ones, I don't think there's anything wrong with starting with those.
Is there any difference between doing the pre-written campaign and a homebrew? This isn't on there, but do you think, as a first-time DM, if they're going to do a campaign, it's a good idea to go with a starter set?
I'd say there are a lot of differences. The biggest one obviously being you've got the information, it's already planned for you. It can be more restrictive or it definitely is more restrictive than a homebrew setting, but the differences, they can be good and bad. So, like I said, one, a bad one being it's more restricting, but two, it makes there's less work for you as a dungeon master. You've got all the information, you've got all the names of the NPCs, you know what's going on, and you've got a clear structure to follow. So, it's not necessarily better or worse, but yeah, just differences.
Okay.
Overall, it's different, but it's not better or worse.
What can DMs do to make sure players are prepped for their session? This is their first session ever. It's their first campaign ever.
Yep.
I guess arguably the prep makes more sense for this than a one shot. What can first time DMs do to prep their players?
I'd think the best thing, and this is not even necessarily first time, this is for everyone, have a session 0 with your players, especially if they're new.
Okay.
Tell them the kind of thing that campaign or that module is going to involve, especially if it is a pre-written one. So if it's, let's say if you are being ballsy with it and you're starting with the Curse of Strahd as your first one, have a sit down with your players, have a session 0, discuss their characters, tell them exactly what you know about the setting of the world. Obviously, don't give spoilers, but you want them to know what they're getting into. Let them know roughly how long you expect it to go on for, because if you have a group of new players that just want to try it for a month or so, and you throw them into like the Curse of Strahd, that's like a year-long campaign, then they won't. I imagine a lot of people wouldn't like that.
Yeah, so give them an insight into the setting. Have like a warm up that kind of fits the tone.
Yeah.
See how they play together. Is that what we're saying?
Exactly. Yeah. You want to figure out how each player, or what each player expects to get from the game. If they just want to turn up and have a good time, you're golden. If they want to explore a certain character arc, then you as a DM will need to know that.
Okay. Should DMs read through the module before playing?
Yes.
Yeah? Know what you're getting into.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense to just wing it and then be like, I don't even know which line I was on a minute ago.
Exactly. If you are planning a pre-written campaign, or planning to run a pre-written campaign, you definitely need to know what happens. You need to know, 1, how it's starting, 2, roughly how it ends. Obviously, that depends on the players largely, but you need to know where you're building up, what you're building up to. You also need to know enough about the world and the setting that if they... Again, I'll reference Curse of Strahd again, but if they're starting off in the first village you go to, you need to know enough about the next village that if halfway through a quest they think, you know what, I'm bored of this town, let's put a pin in this and let's travel for a bit and come back. You need to be able to allow them to do that. You can't just say no.
Yeah, okay. Do DMs need to bring articles, like maps, minis from the module for it to make sense?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean... It's different because I'm the type of DM that I will bring as much as I can that relates to it. Like I'll try and make things or get the miniatures for it or maps, but you don't need to. As long as you're comfortable explaining the setting, most players will probably just be happy with grid paper as a map and just say, draw out a rough outline. This is a church that you're in. You don't have to find the map or design one. And if you've got... We spoke about this in the miniatures episode. If you've got little Lego figures or bottle caps, anything that you can, or even paper tokens you've written names on, that is all you'll really need.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, especially for first-time DMs, especially for a big campaign, I wouldn't worry about having everything you can hand out or use.
Yeah, D&D is meant to be cost-effective. That's kind of why people get into it. Yeah. And then they get obsessed with it, and then they buy everything they don't need. So... It's exactly the same thing, I'd say. It's nice that, maybe you get the end game boss. Maybe you get maybe you get Strahd, maybe you get a dragon in Lost Mines,
Exactly.
It's one kind of thing that might stand out and it's nice for you to have as a collector's piece, but don't feel like you need to buy stuff for D&D other than the basics such as pencil, pen, paper,
especially dice. For your first time.
Yeah.
I've said this before as well in previous episodes, but my first campaign, it was just the Lost Mines of Phandelver, but slightly homebrewed, and I had none of or barely any of the maps, no miniatures, nothing like that, because it was my first time, it was the players' first time, and we all enjoyed it. It was great.
Yeah. And
you don't need all of that stuff, especially given how expensive some of it is.
Nice. Okay, last question. Any final words for our first-time pre-written campaign DMers? Big sentence.
Sorry, I zoned out a bit. Can you say that
any
again?
final words? Anything that you should any advice for people, their first time DMers doing a first time campaign?
I would say, especially if it's a pre-written one best piece of advice is just know what you're running. And 2, just remember to have fun with it, because again, especially with some of the pre-written modules, the full ones, they can be so daunting to start with. They could be daunting to run regardless, given the amount of information that's there. But for your first one, it can be really stressful. It can be, like I said, daunting. You could go in worried and have far too much you have to think about that you forget that you're supposed to be enjoying it as well. It's not just for the players. So, yeah, have fun with it and know what you're running.
Nice. Okay.
What about you? Any advice?
No, I've not DM'd.
No?
I probably never will DM a pre-written campaign.
No. Okay, I'll tell you.
I guess from a player's perspective, it's nice to know that the DM has read the book because it should feel like they're not winging something that they've literally paid to have made for them. Yeah. And also, I think most importantly, as a player, looking at the DM, that DM, if it's Lost Minds, it should feel light and friendly and fantasy based.
The setting.
If it's Tomb of Annihilation, then it should feel the person should be presenting it and describing things in a bit of a more serious gothic manner. Like I want that. They don't have to do voices, but I want them to. They are the tone for me.
Exactly.
And that's what I try to do as the DM, and I want that back as a player.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have one question for you, given that your previous statement. Is there a reason, obviously without getting into homebrew too much, is there a reason you won't run a pre-written one?
Yeah, I just don't think they're creative enough.
All right, fair enough.
Everything I read is too boxed in. Yeah,
That-
they're a bit too wet. Too wet for me.
That is one thing. One last bit of advice I would say about the pre-written ones, because I've done this before, and I feel like this is the way to make them all the best they can be. Don't be afraid to add some homebrew to those pre-written campaigns.
Add the flair.
Add whatever you want. Obviously, if you start changing it too much, it'll start just becoming a homebrew campaign. Feel free to add bits if you're comfortable to do that, but it's not necessary.
If it comes naturally to you to feel like adding something here, like they could have done this, there's probably a reason for that, because you feel that it should, and your players will probably feel that as well. So definitely do that. Today's adventure is sadly coming to a close. We're back in next week with a topic: how do you live with yourself, knowing you just like ant farms?
I love ant farms.
Well, this is for everyone.
I really thought you were just going to say, how do you live with yourself?
Well, I originally did, and then I added to it.
You thought I'd have a breakdown or something. Just like, can't trick
how
me
do you
like
live
that.
with yourself? Okay, and as always, thank you for tuning in. And if you like joining on the D&D action, then please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at How to Play D&D, or check out the link in our bio to our Discord server for BTS sessions, bloopers, blogs, early access episodes, and even live Q&As. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/howtoplayd&D. I've been Connor Kinsey.
I've been Lewis McCaffery. That was
Good day.
That was a pleasure. Goodbye.